Well, good afternoon, everyone. This is Mike Bass back again with another forecast update for you for this August the 2nd, 2023. I'm hoping everybody's having a great Wednesday out there so far. Hope everybody has a great Wednesday afternoon. Hope everybody continues to stay safe and well and also enjoy the weather because it's the only weather you got. Okay, in today's video, we're going to be talking about the Invest 96L chance possibly becoming a tropical depression or tropical storm still. We're going to take a look at the intensity guided, but it's a small chance that it still could become something before a frontal boundary hits it. So we just have to wait and see. And also, we're going to take a look at the weather radar. Also, we're going to take a look at the weather watching warning advisory map for your location across the nation. Also, we're going to take a look at the Storm Prediction Center outlook for today. Also for your Thursday, Friday, and also take a look at Saturday forecast, which is day 4, and we'll talk about that as well. Okay, if you're a new viewer and have not subscribed to my channel, go ahead and subscribe to it. Love to have you. Also like these videos and share these videos on social media so more people can get a chance to see my forecast channel as well. Alrighty, well, let's go ahead and dive on into the forecast now, and we'll get the show on the road here, folks. Alright, as you can see here, we got this is Invest 96L. Looks a little better organized this afternoon, but then it kind of weakens out a little bit. Over here to the left side of your screen coming in, that's why it's short time to maybe become something tropical before this frontal boundary kind of sweep. It gets caught up with it, and it will rip it apart. So that's why they just gonna give it a short time maybe to become something tropical. All right, let's take a look at the computer models, and then we're gonna move on to the intensity guidance of the storm. I don't know what went on there. Okay, here we go right here. This should be it here. The north central tropical Atlantic. All right, let's take a look at the intensity guidance. The intensity guidance still trying to shoot it up to a tropical storm. Right now, it still has winds of about 30 knots, about 12, 24, 36 hours. A bunch of the computer models do take it up there, but there's only some takes it up, and then a few of them drops it back down. So we just have to wait and see if it becomes a tropical storm or a tropical depression at any time. All right, let's move on to the weather radar across the nation. Okay, as you can see here across the nation here, we got some scattered showers up here in portions of southern Canada. Also, we got more widespread showers and storms. I don't know why that thing ain't animating for, but anyway, we got scattered activity off the southeast coast. Got some scattered showers over portion of scattered shower down here around the Puerto Rican island. We got a MCS moving through portions of Illinois, all the way into portions of Kansas and Nebraska. Scattered activity over portion North and South Dakota, southern Canada. Scattered activity over here in portion of Wyoming, back in the Utah, also in the Idaho, also in North Carolina as well. The Hawaiian chain island got a few scattered showers around the island. Also, Alaska looks good, except some showers offshore. And Guam radar currently unavailable. All right, let's move on to the Philadelphia region, down towards the New Jersey, Delaware area, also along coastal areas of South Carolina as well. We got heat advisories over portions of Alabama, Mississippi, also in the portion of Arkansas, Missouri, also in the portion of Kansas and Texas as well, and Oklahoma. Also, we got a set of heat warnings also in effect for Mississippi, portion of Tennessee, also in much of Arkansas, all of Louisiana, much of Texas, much of Oklahoma, and southern portions of Kansas and western portions of Missouri. Got a flood watch also in effect for portions of Kentucky, Illinois, and portion of Missouri. Got some flood warnings also in effect for northern portions of Missouri there as well, and also got some flood advisory, flood warning riding along the Nebraska Iowa border. That river flood warning still continues for South Dakota. Flooded watches in effect for portion for one county there in central New Mexico, southern portions of Wyoming, and also over here in portions of Utah as well, northern Arizona. Sets of heat warnings also down in southern Arizona in effect as well. A few air quality alerts there too. Hydro issues over portion of Nevada and also a portion of Wyoming. Air quality alert for portion of Montana, Idaho, and portion of Washington State as well. Fire weather watches also in effect for Oregon, and also red flag warnings there in effect for Washington State and also Idaho there too. Alright, special weather statements for some areas here in Alaska. Still got those coastal flood statements for the Hawaiian Chain Island, central and south of the island. Got some gale warnings on the south. Alright, north look good. Okay, storm prediction center time. As you can see here, we got general thunderstorms over reported from southeast Georgia into Florida and the Florida Keys, Louisiana area. Also back into portion of North Carolina, all the way back into portion of North and South Dakota, back to Montana, all the way back over to Nevada and California. Also in the portion of New Mexico and Arizona. And also we got a marginal risk over here in portion of Arizona. Also into Utah. Also over here in portions of Colorado, also into portions of Nebraska and also Kansas. Also, we got a marginal and a slight risk over portion of Missouri. Also over here, portions of Kentucky. Also in the portions of Kansas and Nebraska as well, and also southern Iowa. And again up here in portion of Minnesota and Wisconsin. Alright, if you live in St. Louis, Missouri, Columbus, Missouri, St. Charles, Missouri, St. Peters, Missouri, Blue Ridge Spring, Missouri, slight risk for severe weather this afternoon. If you live in Kansas City, Missouri, Salt Lake City, Utah, Overland Park, Kansas, Springfield, Missouri, Kansas City, Kansas, marginal risk for severe weather this afternoon. Tornado probability, 2% over Missouri. If you live in Kansas City, Missouri, St. Louis, Missouri, Overland Park, Kansas, Kansas City, Kansas, and Independent, Missouri, 2% risk for tornado. 5% in brown, 15% in yellow. 15%, this includes St. Louis, Missouri, Columbus, Missouri, St. Charles, Missouri, St. Peters, Missouri, Blue Springs, Missouri. 5% risk, this includes Kansas City, Missouri, Salt Lake City, Utah, Overland Park, Kansas, and Springfield, Missouri, and Kansas City, Kansas for damaging winds. Hail probability, 5% in brown, 15% in yellow. The 15% risk area includes Columbia, Missouri, Bluefield Spring, Missouri, Jefferson City, Missouri, Salina, Missouri, and Rolla, Missouri. And if you're in the 5%, this includes Kansas City, Missouri, St. Louis, Missouri, Overland Park, Kansas, Springfield, Missouri, and Kansas City, Kansas. All right, let's move on to day number 2. This will be your third. Okay, general thunderstorm from Maine to the Florida Keys, back to Louisiana, back to New Mexico, back to Nevada, California, Oregon, all the way up to Montana, portion of the Dakotas, all the way back over to Michigan. All right, we got a marginal risk, slight risk over here in portions of Kansas, Nebraska, Colorado, Wyoming, also in South Dakota. Marginal risk over here in portions of Tennessee, northern Georgia, Alabama, northeast Mississippi, and then up here in portions of northeast Michigan, up in portions of upstate New York State, up toward Maine as well. If you're in a slight risk area, this includes North Platte, Nebraska, Scottsbluff, Nebraska, Sterling, Colorado, Fort Morgan, Colorado, Lexington, Nebraska. If you live in the Nashville, Tennessee, Atlanta, Georgia area, Aurora, Colorado, Buffalo, New York, and Birmingham, Alabama, you're in the marginal risk for severe weather on Thursday. The tornado probability, 2% down here in Georgia and Alabama and Tennessee. If you live in Atlanta, Georgia, Huntsville, Alabama, Chattanooga, Tennessee, Sandy Springs, Georgia, and Roswell, Georgia, 2% risk for a tornado. Wind, 5% in the brown, 15% in the yellow. If you live in North Platte, Nebraska, Scott Bluff, Nebraska, Sterling, Colorado, Fort Morgan, Colorado, Lexington, Nebraska, 15% risk for severe weather. If you live in Nashville, Tennessee, that's damaging winds, that is. If you live in Nashville, Tennessee, Atlanta, Georgia, Aurora, Colorado, Buffalo, New York, and Birmingham, Alabama, 5% risk for damaging wind. Take a look at the hail probability, same areas. This includes Scott Bluff, Nebraska, Sterling, Colorado, Fort Morgan, Colorado, Torrington, Wyoming, 15% risk. If you live in Aurora, Colorado, Buffalo, New York, Rochester, New York, Syracuse, New York, Thornton, Colorado, 5% risk for large hail on your Thursday. All right, let's move on to your Friday forecast. As you can see, we got general thunderstorm from Maine to the Florida Keys, back to portion of Louisiana, all the way back into portion of New Mexico, back to Nevada, California, Oregon, including Montana, and back into portions of West Virginia, up toward Pennsylvania. We got a marginal risk over portions of Pennsylvania, New York State. If you live in Syracuse, New York, Albany, New York, Scranton, Pennsylvania, Cincinnati, New York, and Uddy, New York, marginal risk for severe weather, probability, same area, Syracuse, New York, all the way to Utah, New York, and surrounding areas, 5% risk for severe weather on your Friday. And day 4, this is the area to watch for slight risk of severe weather, pretty much in the 15% area. If you live in Kansas City, Missouri, Omaha, Nebraska, Wichita, Kansas, Lincoln, Nebraska, Overland Park, Kansas, 15% risk for severe weather. And I'm expecting a marginal risk to probably outline the area around this 15% risk area. Alright, well, I hope everybody enjoyed this video. Hope everybody continues to stay safe and well. Also enjoy the weather, because it's the only weather you got. Like these videos, share these videos, and consider subscribing if you have not. And we'll catch you back in the next one. And have a great Wednesday afternoon, everyone. Take care.